If you're an educator who gives a fuck, you know that there are problems in school, and you're going to want to address those problems. Well, a well-defined problem is a problem that's half solved. But how do we make sure that we're defining problems in the best way possible? Let me address biases, dimensions, elephants, and how to write your next email in the next few minutes. See, we all have biases when it comes to what we focus on school. We overplay some things and completely overlook others. That's where the 4 dimensions come in. I say that there are 4 dimensions to every school. A school has an organizational dimension, a relational dimension, the actionable dimension, and a personal dimension. So organizational, how things are set up, talking about our systems and our environments. The relational, who's involved? Who are the communities and what's the culture of each of those communities in your school? The actionable, what you're doing, the actual activities you're up to and the resources you need for them. And the personal, what it's like to be in the school, each individual's own beliefs and reactions. See, it's kind of like the 4 blind men touching different parts of an elephant. Each is describing a different part of something bigger. Each is accurate but partial. Our schools are the elephant. The 4 dimensions address the 4 things that make up every school. Schools have an organizational, relational, actionable, and personal dimension to them. And this is there whether we address it or not. We face the consequences of these 4 dimensions whether we acknowledge them or not. So choose to acknowledge them and you'll be way more effective. Let's start with an everyday example of the 4 dimensions and then connect it back to school. Let's look at the 4 dimensions of going to the gym. So say you want to work out regularly. To succeed, you're going to need all 4 dimensions. The organizational, you need to find a gym with the right equipment, the right hours for your schedule, and a price that's in your budget. Relational, maybe you need a workout buddy or a trainer to keep you accountable. Or at least you're going to want to align with the culture of a gym. Certain gyms you'll just feel like you're better fit for. Actionable, you need a workout plan and the right gear to do it with. And the personal, you need your motivation and your own long-term health goals. And see, this is where bias comes in. If you miss any of these, your plans fall apart. For example, a great routine won't help you if your gym is too far away and closed when you have free time. Or finding the perfect gym won't matter if you aren't personally motivated. So now let's bring schools back into the picture. Each of us has a bias because each of us tends to focus on one of the 4 dimensions more than the others. We sometimes think that doing one of these dimensions well will get the other 3 in line. For example, many schools these days are facing organizational challenges, funding cuts, burnout, broken systems. And there's been this meme recently of leadership telling teachers to remember their why and push through. However, the personal motivation won't fix those systemic problems. See, doing one well doesn't make up for the others. In fact, you can even have 3 of them going well, and that one that is out of whack, that can bring down the rest. So a well-defined problem is a problem half solved. To truly solve school problems, you need to identify which dimensions are causing friction. Is it the organizational, to do with structures, policies, and how our environments, both physical and digital, are being used? Is it relational? Is this more of a communication, culture, and issue within a community? Is it actionable? Are we needing to address difficulties with plans, tools, resources, and how things are being done? Or is it personal? The beliefs, motivations, reactions, and responses of individuals involved. So take one of the challenges you're facing and break it down. Are you focusing on just one of these dimensions? If so, how can you bring the other 3 into it? One way to do so is to focus on these questions. To make sure you're focusing on the organizational, ask, what system is making this harder than it needs to be? For the relational, who else is involved and how do they see the problem? Actionable, what's one immediate step to improve the situation now? And the personal, how are my beliefs, mindset, or investment in this shaping my approach? When you analyze problems this way, you make better decisions, waste less energy, and create more lasting, sustainable change. So these 4 dimensions also transform communication. We are naturally listening for our preferred dimension. And when it's missing, we feel like something's missing from what's being discussed. By integrating all four, you can make sure your message truly connects. Because if you give a fuck, there are things you are going to want to make happen in your school. So in your next email, message, or staff presentation where you're sharing something that matters to you, be sure to include all four dimensions. Check yourself, notice how you're trying to communicate, then step back, identify any missing dimensions and include them. And here's your cheat sheet to do so. Simply ask yourself, have I clarified how it will be structured? Have I explained how people will interact? Have I addressed what we will do? And have I considered what it will be like to be in it? Which dimension do you or your school prioritize? Which dimension are your problems coming from? Let me know in the comments. Happy to get in a conversation there. Like, share, subscribe, and contribute meaningfully in schools. Enjoy your day.